Has anyone ever said something to you that really hurt your feelings? Did that person even realize the effect of what was said? I'm here today as an advocate for kind speaking. I truly believe that if you change the way you speak, you can change your life. Once when I was about 13, I was reciting out loud a Shakespeare sonnet that I had memorized. I loved the words, but my delivery was not great, and I knew it. My oldest brother walked by and said to me with a sneer on his face, "You know that was terrible, right?" I was embarrassed, and I said, "Yeah, I know." Nothing uplifting came from this exchange. 13 was a very vulnerable stage in my life. The average person may not be as susceptible and defenseless as I was at 13, but what we say hurts other people of all ages. The most obvious reason why you should speak kindly is because it will improve relationships. I have a friend who frequently sounds angry when she talks. From what she says, I know she's not angry with me, but I can't help feeling like she's angry anyway. She isn't being rude, but her tone of voice and the fact that she never smiles suggests that she's upset. I don't think she has a clue that she does this, but she doesn't have many friends as a result, and her children all speak the same way, including back to their mother. They all sound angry with each other, and I would feel more comfortable around her if she sounded friendlier. This is true for most relationships. If you want people to feel comfortable around you, it's important to smile and seem like you want to see that person. The words and tone of your voice will set the climate for the conversation. Sister Karen Lund, in her talk, The Four Principles of a Joyous Marriage, said, "My husband and I were having a discussion which was more emotional than it should have been. And in the heat of it, I said something that hurt my sweetheart. Instead of responding with anger, the natural tendency, he simply and kindly asked, 'Do you really mean that?' Of course I didn't, and I told him so. He responded, 'Then why did you say it?' I felt horrible. I learned that day to be very careful about speaking in the heat of emotion. It is much better to think through our own feelings of hurt and anger and understand them before talking about them, kindly, thoughtfully, and respectfully." Here are some important questions to ask yourself. Do you want people to feel comfortable around you? Do you really mean the things you say? Sometimes we say things we don't mean, and that's okay. Sometimes we say the wrong thing or use a harsh tone of voice, and that's okay. We are all learning, but if those angry remarks and bad feelings continue, we'll build up hurt upon hurt, and we may find ourselves far away from people we once considered close. Another reason for speaking kindly is that it's healthy. Many people are aware that angry outbursts can increase the risk of heart attacks. The European Society of Cardiology has concluded that among people who were frequently angry, 5 episodes of anger a day would result in around 158 extra heart attacks per 10,000 people with low cardiovascular risk per year. So for 10,000 people, there were 158 extra heart attacks each year for people with low cardiovascular risk because of their angry outbursts. And for people with high cardiovascular risk, it was 657 extra heart attacks per 10,000 people per year. I think the statistic speaks for itself. Most people don't have 5 angry outbursts a day. They may have one instance of yelling at their child for emptying a box of cereal on the floor, and that person may have another angry outburst at a coworker who messed up a report, along with an episode of road rage. And those angry outbursts build up, and they do more than hurt those around you. It hurts your body and your overall health as well. Another important reason to speak kindly is that it will make you a more effective person. Dr. P.M. Forney, author of Choosing Civility, the 25 Rules of Considerate Conduct, said, "It is also important to remember that people's perceptions of us impact our relationships for the long term, and the way we talk to them makes lasting impressions." Studies have demonstrated that people actually have negative physical reactions to negative talk, yelling, and put-downs that can be described as shutting down. We should remember how ineffective negative talk can be and try speaking kindly when we want to make important points. This shows a level of respect for the other person that will leave the door open for future and further communication. If your child does empty a box of cereal on the floor and you react angrily, will she really learn why she shouldn't dump out the cereal? Or will she only learn to be scared of you when she does something wrong? If you yell at your coworker for making a mistake, will more work get done? Will your coworker ever approach you if he or she doesn't have to? Speaking kindly to someone shows them that you respect them and that you love them. More will be accomplished by speaking kind words than with harsh words. I can think of many more reasons why we should speak kindly. I could go on about this topic for a long time. I could give a whole nother speech about how to do that, but fortunately there isn't time for that. To wrap up speaking kindly, here's another quote from Dr. Forney. She said, "To speak kindly, you need to be aware constantly that you are speaking to living, breathing, vulnerable human beings. Don't discount the power of your words. The thought that they might cause unnecessary hurt or discomfort should inform every conversation. When you speak kindly to others, you manage to keep them in mind as you speak, which means keeping at bay, at least for a while, the pressing demands of your needs. Speaking kindly is as much about yourself as it is about other people. And if you won't speak kindly for yourself, at least do it for someone else and the people around you." I know this is a hard thing to accomplish and a sore spot in many lives, but we have to start somewhere. Every person has encountered a bully, or at least a very rude person in their lives. Many people are the rude people. So if speaking kindly is a daily struggle or a monthly one, I implore you to give it a try. Start slow, and I think that your life and the lives of others around you will change.